What's up guys, and welcome back to another video all about Super Rugby, the recap and the predictions for this upcoming weekend's games. What a weekend we had this past weekend. If you're a South African, you're going to feel it with me. We had extra bit of drama on the weekend with our Super Sport presenters, Ashwin Villas, walking off studio live on air after having a tiff with Nick Mallet and Nas Porter. If you haven't heard that story, click above and watch the video that I did to explain it a bit more and gave my thoughts. I did 2 videos on it, so make sure you check them out. But let's get to what's important, what we all want to talk about, and that is the rugby. The past weekend results, what exciting games we were treated to, some really interesting deciders. I had a shocking weekend on Super Rugby. Once again, I should retire from it. But it was truly, but it's because the rugby is so close and so good at the moment. It's really hard to predict. Yes, there's talk of the New Zealand teams playing their B or C teams, but at the end of the day, there's still fantastic teams playing some great rugby. And for me, it's still anyone's game. And all teams want to play to the best of their ability. All teams want to win. So let's get into the recap. Hurricanes versus the Reds kicked off the weekend for us. 38-34 win for the Hurricanes. Close game, 4 points in it. Some amazing efforts. Ben Lamb scoring 2 tries, so good stuff on him. Bowden Barrett kicking his conversions and penalty over, so good points on him. Jonathan Last's having a good game for the Reds, and 4 tries scored from the Reds as well. So good effort from the Reds. So well done on them. Close game, but credit to the Hurricanes for continuing their winning form. We get to the next game, Sunwolves versus the Stormers. This was the shock of the weekend for me. Fantastic stuff, really, from the Sunwolves. It was a tough game. They were passionate. They were there on the day. Unfortunately for the Stormers, Dylan Lane scoring 2 tries, but it just wasn't enough for them. Hayden Parker, Grant Hutton scoring tries for the Sunwolves, but at last minute drop goal being the decider for the win. And well done to Sunwolves for holding it out, playing a full 80-minute and odd game. So well done, good victory for them. I'm sure they were celebrating properly. So good stuff for them. Hard luck Stormers, time to bounce back and move on. Blues versus the Crusaders. This was a good game too, close game as well. Okay, well not that close, but it was not a bad point scoring game for the Blues, who have just not had the season. Obviously injuries hit them, but it wasn't a good one for them. But credit to the Crusaders picking up another win, 32 points to 24, scoring 4 tries versus Rico Leone scoring 2 tries for the Blues. So good effort from him, but well done Crusaders continuing their dominance yet again. Waratahs versus the Highlanders, another shock of the weekend for me, just because of the form of the Highlanders hasn't been bad, but unfortunately just not enough for them. The Waratahs were on fire. Israel Folau scoring 2 tries, looking good, getting the build-up ready for Ireland, so that's going to be exciting. Bernard Foley getting some points with the boot. Curtis Rona, Fukitie, sorry if I said that wrong, and the other gentleman, Takile, scoring 2 tries. Forgive my pronunciations, but well done Waratahs. I'm actually stoked for them because they are my Australian team, and it's good to see them winning again. I predicted Highlanders win, and clearly I was wrong. What a game! The next one, the Sharks versus the Chiefs. It was not a convincing performance, but I'm proud of the team for picking up a good win against the Chiefs. I think I did predict the Sharks, if I'm not mistaken, but it's a good win for the Sharks, beating the Chiefs. Sharks are on a roller coaster. They win this week, or they're going to win next week. You just never know, but hopefully they can just pick up now and keep going. Hard luck to the Chiefs after their loss, but proud of my team for picking up a win against the Chiefs. Lions Brumbies. This is where the drama occurred in South Africa. 42 points to 24, good victory, but we can't forget the cards definitely had an impact. Brumbies were putting on a strong effort. They were looking good at times, but unfortunately those cards cost them big time. That tackle against Alton Yankees was disgraceful. It really was shocking and unsportsmanlike. I know they don't think at the time when they're going to tackle like that, but that was disgraceful. He could have been, yeah, shocking stuff. I mean, try scored, 6 tries in the game. Robbie Kutzer, Rowan Janssen van Rensburg, Rowan Dreyer, Marnus Kumon, Sean Reynolds, Lawrence Erasmus, Alton Yankees kicking some points over too. So well done on the Lions picking up a victory, capitalising on the errors that the Brumbies made. So good victory, well done and well deserved. Then we get to another team that I'm really enjoying watching, the Jaguars, playing some strong, powerful rugby. Yes, I'm sad for the Bulls, but jeepers, guys, credit where credit's deserved. The Jaguars are on fire at the moment. 54 points to 24. Good victory for the Jaguars. Nicolas Sanchez having a good game, kicking some good points with the boot, scoring a try. So well done to the Jaguars on a great victory. Unfortunately, for the Bulls' sake, they lost. I'm happy for Warwick Galant scoring a try, so hopefully they can bounce back and pick up a win. But credit to the Jaguars. What a weekend it was. It was a draining one for a South African fan, but it was a great one for rugby fans. Let's go on to the fixtures. Crusaders versus Hurricanes. We kick it off with a big New Zealand derby. What a cracker it is going to be, guys. I mean, both teams are outstanding. Both teams are on winning streaks. Both teams had close encounters previously, and both teams are going to want to rip each other's heads off to be the most dominant team in New Zealand rugby. Who's it going to be? I am going to go with the favourites, the current champs, the Crusaders. I just think they got it in them. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. I won't be surprised if I'm wrong, but just judging on experience on the team, I just think they've got it in them to just go all the way and pick it up. It's going to be a hard-fought game, but obviously Hurricanes have beaten them a few times, but I just think this weekend we're going to see Crusaders victory, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Won't be surprised if I'm wrong again. Rebels versus the Sunwolves. This is going to be an interesting game. Sunwolves picking up a win against the Stormers, which is a big one for them. Rebels on a downhill. Yes, they won in their last encounter, but they've just been on a downhill after starting so strong. Can they bounce back? Sunwolves on 2-game winning streak. Can they make it a third? If there's any team that can do it against, especially with the form they're currently in, it is the Rebels. And I'm going to take a risk this weekend and go Sunwolves to win by 5. I'm probably going to be wrong because it is in Australia, but I think the Sunwolves can do it. If they continue the momentum, they could make this a hat trick. Next game, the Jaguars versus the South Sea Sharks. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't shit scared for this one. Jaguars on fantastic form. 5-game winning streak. Sharkies were lost 2 weeks ago. Now won the game. What's this thing going to happen? This is a tough one to predict as a Sharks fan. So much rugby on Friday, but I'm going to go with the South Sea Sharks to win by 3 or more. It's going to be close. It's going to be tough. But I think the Jaguars' winning streak might just come to an end. Thanks to the Sharks proving the roller coaster it doesn't exist. We'll have to wait and see. Chiefs Saturday kicks off with Chiefs versus the Waratahs. This is going to be a cracker of a game. Waratahs coming off a good win last week. Chiefs going to want to redeem themselves. They're back home. So for me personally, I'm going to go Chiefs to win. It's a game back home. They're going to want to redeem themselves. It wasn't a great tour in South Africa. It wasn't a strong one. So I'm going to go Chiefs to win by 5 points or more on that one. Reds versus the Highlanders. Both teams are okay-ish, but Reds obviously losing to Highlanders. Lost last week, won the week before. But for me, this one is a no-brainer. I'm going Highlanders to win by 8 points or more on this one. I just think they're the stronger team, more developed team, and just on more form than our friends in Australia. Vodacom Bulls versus the Brumbies. Another good game ahead of us. Can the Brumbies bounce back after a really poor weekend last weekend? Can the Bulls bounce back after they lost against the Jaguars? We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to go Bulls to win by 5 points on that one. They had Loftus Versfeld. I think they can do it. Then the final game of the weekend. Stormers versus Lions. This is going to be a good game. Both teams are not too shabby. Lions haven't been as strong as they were last year, but they look like they're coming right, hopefully. Stormers have been up and down as well. Going to want to be trying to be able to fight for a position in the playoffs, but it doesn't look very good for them. Lions are going to want to continue the dominance at the top of the SA Conference. So for me, I'm going to go with Stormers by 3. Home game for the Stormers, and I just think they might have it just enough in them to win the game. You might call me mad, but I think that's going to be the results. And that's going to do it for the predictions and the recap of the Super Rugby coming up this weekend. It is going to be a smashing weekend of great rugby. Hopefully no drama for us South African fans. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Let me know, as usual, your comments down below who is going to win this weekend. And it's going to be a humdinger. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys next week for another video. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.